Welcome to the deep dive. When we think about power, especially in the series like Demon Slayer, we often picture like the big flashy fights,
Yeah.
right? Explosions, super strength.
Absolutely, the brute force stuff.
Yeah. But sometimes it's the ones who are kind of quiet, the ones in the background, who end up having this huge impact. And today, we're digging into one of those figures based on the sources you sent over.
Mm-hmm.
So our mission today is a deep dive into Nakime. You probably know her as the Biwa demon. We've got some really interesting material here, and we're going to try to unpack all those layers. Her personality, which is super enigmatic.
Definitely.
Her past, which is frankly shocking, and these unique powers she had that made her just crucial, totally indispensable to Muzan.
Right, and how that role really shaped the whole endgame, the final battle.
Exactly. We'll look at how someone seemingly just
Mm-hmm.
there
Yeah.
became so central right up to her really dramatic, unexpected finish.
And hopefully by the end, you'll really see how power isn't always about punching hardest. Sometimes it's strategy, sometimes it's control. And how loyalty, even absolute loyalty like hers, can lead you down some very surprising, sometimes tragic paths.
Okay, so let's start peeling back those layers. Nakime, before she was a demon. The sources say she was this obscure Biwa musician, kind of struggling.
Yeah, struggling is the word.
Yeah.
And her home life, far from peaceful.
Tell us about that human origin story, because it's something else.
It really is. It shows this surprising contrast within her. She was married, right? But her husband was just hopelessly addicted to gambling.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, he burned through all her money, her savings, didn't contribute a thing.
And then there's that one night. This is where it really gets intense. Right before a performance.
Mm-hmm. She finds out he stole her kimono, her actual performing dress, gambled it away.
Wow. That had to be the breaking point.
It absolutely was. All that rage she must have kept bottled up, being so stoic.
Yeah.
It just exploded.
She
Killed him with a hammer.
Jeez. Okay. But she still had to perform. Like right after.
Yeah, that's the chilling part. First time committing murder, and she still has a gig. Had to wear some old ragged dress, handshaking.
I can only imagine.
But here's the twist. The music she played then, filled with all that tension and trauma, it was apparently incredible. Like, the audience went wild for it, demanded an encore.
That's bizarrely ironic. So the horror somehow fueled the art.
It seems like it. And that positive feedback, it led to this really disturbing habit developing.
Oh, no.
She started killing people before her big performances, ritualistically. And every single time, the feedback was amazing. Her playing got better and better, apparently.
So she becomes this serial killer musician.
Yeah.
That's messed up.
Deeply messed up, yeah.
Oh.
A serial killer whose art is flourishing because of it.
Yeah.
And this bizarre path eventually leads her right to Muzan Kibutsuji.
Of course it does. And he doesn't kill her.
No. He was actually impressed, not by the music, interestingly, but by her, quote, searching skills? Her ability to track him down, apparently.
Oh.
So instead of killing her, he sees potential. Offers to turn her into a demon. She says yes, and boom, she starts climbing the ranks. Becomes one of his key servants.
So her new life is a demon. She starts out pretty quietly, doesn't she?
Very quietly. When we first meet her, she's just this mysterious figure, always with her biwa, that four-stringed instrument, and the big pick, the bachi.
Right. And her main job at first is just summoning demons.
Pretty much. Summoning them into the Infinity Castle when Muzan calls. That's basically it.
And her personality, still very withdrawn.
Oh, yeah. Consistently mysterious, cold, seems emotionless, barely speaks. When she does, it's super blunt, straight to the point.
Like, she didn't even say anything when she summoned the lower ranks after Rui died.
Not a word. Same when she summoned the upper ranks after Daki and Jutaro bought it. Just silence in the strumming.
But her loyalty to Muzan, that was absolute, right?
Described as unmatched. Zero hesitation, zero questions, just obeys. Even when Muzan is, like, wiping out the lower ranks right there, she seems totally unfazed.
Didn't Doma try to invite her somewhere?
Huh, yeah. He invited her to his temple, and she just flat out refused him. No emotion, just no.
So that loyalty really made her stand out.
It really did. And after Dantengu was defeated, Muzan bumps her up. Big promotion.
Upper rank 4.
Exactly. Upper rank 4 of the 12 Kizuki, which is huge. And you can tell Muzan valued her, especially her abilities. Found them super useful.
Did he ever actually, acknowledge that?
He did. He actually complimented her on how quickly she was growing stronger, which, for Muzan is pretty rare praise.
Wow. And how did she react?
She just said she was very honored, still very reserved even then.
And visually she changed too, didn't she, after the promotion?
Yeah, that's when she stops hiding her face so much. We finally see that single big pink eye with the 4 kanji carved into it and those veins around it. Very distinct look.
Okay, so loyalty gets her noticed, gets her promoted, but let's talk about those abilities. Her blood demon art. It wasn't your typical smash and bash power, was it?
Not at all. It was completely different. Nakime's power wasn't really about offense in the traditional sense. It was about total environmental control. She was the master of the Infinity Castle.
The castle itself. Describe that again. It's nuts.
It really is. It's this extra-dimensional space, right? Like a pocket universe.
Huh?
Absolutely massive, endless rooms, shifting corridors, gardens, giant pillars. Just a maze.
And she controlled all of it.
Total dominion. All she had to do was strum Biwa.
Just strumming.
Well, that was the trigger. A strum could reshape a room, create new ones, even turn walls into, like, giant pillars to crush enemies.
That's incredible power.
It is. And she could also bind her hair to a wall, which let her control the castle's layout almost like it was part of her own body. Made her immobile, though, that specific trick.
Okay, so reshaping the environment.
Yeah.
What else? You mentioned portals.
Right, the portals looked like sliding tatami doors. She could pop those up anywhere, instantly moving people inside the castle or even out of it.
So defense and transport.
Exactly. She used them to dodge attacks. Mitsuri couldn't touch her because of them. And, crucially, yeah, transport for the other upper ranks. And probably Muzan himself helping him move around without being seen. Super valuable.
But the real game changer came after the promotion, right? With the eyes.
Ah, yes. Eye detachment. After getting more of Muzan's blood, she could create and detach hundreds of these little eyeball familiars from herself.
Okay, that's creepy. So what did that let her do? What did it mean for the demon slayers?
It meant she could spy on them from basically anywhere, miles away. With these eyes, she found almost everyone in the Demon Slayer Corps. And the biggest prize.
Kagaya Ubiyashiki's mansion.
Yeah.
The place no one could find.
Exactly. She located it. That piece of intel gave Muzan this massive, almost unbeatable advantage heading into the final fight.
So even when Tsunemi found one of the eyes.
Too late. He destroyed one, sure, but the damage was done. Muzan knew where to strike.
Which brings us to that final confrontation. The Infinity Castle arc. Her role there was just pivotal.
Absolutely central. She's the one who pulls the entire Demon Slayer Corps into the castle, and crucially, she separates them all.
Smart move. Divide and conquer.
Right. Prevent them from ganging up on Muzan. It was a terrifyingly effective opening move.
And she personally fought some Hashira too, right? Obanai and Mitsuri.
She faced them, yeah.
Yeah.
But fought is maybe the wrong word. She didn't show much direct combat skill, but they couldn't land a single hit.
Because of the castle control.
Exactly. She just manipulated the rooms, dodged everything. Her speed and reflexes were clearly Hashira level. Even if she wasn't attacking directly, she just evaded.
So Kokushibo dies. She's the last upper rank standing.
Mm.
Muzan must have thought he had it in the bag.
He definitely seemed confident, even claimed she basically defeated Obanai and Mitsuri by crushing them with rooms. But then, the twist.
The Yushiro twist.
This is where her greatest strength becomes her biggest weakness. Yushiro, the demon working with the Corps, somehow manages to take control of her vision.
Wait, how does that even work?
The sources suggest he used his own blood demon art, which involves visual concealment and manipulation. He basically blinds her to reality and imposes his will onto her senses.
And if he controls her vision?
He controls the castle. He starts using the Infinity Castle against Muzan, flipping the script entirely, all to avenge Tamayo.
So it becomes this mental battle. Muzan versus Yushiro, fighting for control of Nakime.
Exactly. A battle of wills playing out through her. And the whole castle starts going haywire because of it. Total chaos.
And then Obanai and Giyu attack Muzan while he's distracted.
Right. They launch a surprise attack, forcing Muzan to defend himself. And in that moment, his mental grip on Nakime slips.
So he has to choose. Fight the Hashira or regain control of the castle.
And he can't do both. So he makes this utterly ruthless calculation.
He kills her.
Kills his last upper rank, crushes her head. Just like that.
Why? Just to stop Yushiro?
Primarily, yeah. It prevented Yushiro from using the castle against him anymore, freed Muzan up to focus entirely on fighting the Slayers. Cold, pragmatic, and brutal. Typical Muzan, really.
So after all that loyalty, after being so indispensable, her own master kills her.
The ultimate betrayal. But her story has one final little footnote, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Even after Muzan crushed her head, Yushiro, in a last desperate act, used her still intact body and presumably the lingering connection to the castle
To do what?
to force the entire Infinity Castle structure above ground into the open.
Bringing Muzan into the sunlight.
Yeah.
Or at least out of his fortress.
Exactly. A final unexpected assist for the Demon Slayers, courtesy of the demon Muzan had just discarded.
Wow. What a journey. Okay, so let's recap. We've gone through Nakime's story, this quiet, intensely loyal Biwa player.
Who started as a struggling musician, became this weird serial killer artist?
Right. And then climbed the ranks to be Muzan's top strategist for them.
Yeah.
Her control over the Infinity Castle, her spying. It shaped everything in that final arc.
It absolutely did.
And her story, I think, really shows you that power isn't just one thing. You know, it's not always the flashy attacks.
Definitely not. It can be strategy, information, control, and loyalty, which for her was both her strength and her downfall. Killed by the one she served without question.
It's a tragic end.
It really is. Which leaves us with a final thought to chew on, maybe?
Go for it.
What does Nakime, with her weird mix of, like, genuine musical talent and this cold, calculating manipulation, what does that teach you about how complex characters can be, even villains, and how someone you might overlook can actually become the linchpin of the whole story?